Hello everyone, this is Matt with MH Motors. Welcome back to the channel. Today in front of us we have the Mercedes Benz CLK-GTR by Maisto Special Edition. This is the 1/18 scale, of course. So basically this car was initially designed and created by Mercedes Benz AMG back in 1997. They created and built this car for the FIA GT Championship Series that was at that year, 1997. And in order to build their race car and compete, they had to build, I believe it was 25 street legal versions of that car itself. So this diecast model that we have is of the CLK GTR street version lineup. I believe there was 20 coupes that they built and then 5 or 6 roadsters and a couple prototypes. So overall, I'm super excited for getting this unboxed and checked out. So without further ado, let's get this off the rotator. All right. So first things first, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay up to date on every future video, such as these unboxings and review videos of diecast cars, as well as cinematic automotive videos of live cars that I have planned for the future. So without further ado, let's check out the outside of this box and then open it up. So on the front, of course, the Maisto Special Edition with a couple other notations, the scale and then the age group designed for. Side of the box is pretty standard. Back of the box is again pretty standard with just different disclaimers, different parts and whatnot. And then of course the bottom, as all of them, has the multiple different brands that Maisto provides at the time, with a couple other details. So let's get this opened up. All right, so super excited to get this unboxed. We'll do a quick overlook, point out a couple things that I think are really cool for this model. Check out the opening parts and check out the interior, and we'll see how it is. So hopefully you are enjoying this video so far as much as I am enjoying this CLK GTR right here. It's cool to see the mirrors, the way they stick out there. Super nice position for the visibility for the driver. I like how they did include the Mercedes emblem as it is on the real car sticking up. That though, we'll give you a heads up, that is definitely a piece that can easily be broken off in addition to the mirrors on these models. So if you have this model, be careful about these couple of parts that can easily be snapped or broken off. So the front end, the headlights do have decent amount of detail. They are just a couple of lens covers, but for the age of the model, it's enough. So they do have a front mesh grille. This is a partially see-through. It's not just a mesh. It's kind of a there is some sort of depth behind there. So moving along on the side does have amazing amount of detail in terms of you can see all the way through to the wheels that are spinning on the inside there. Nice little airflow duct. Then moving into the back, so the way these wheels turn, they are spinning the rotors. I don't know if you can see on the inside. One downside for this Maisto model is they do not include the brake calipers there, so they just have the rotors. That is one negative I do have for this model. Looking on the rear is pretty good. They got, you know, enough detail in the taillights with the proper badging, CLK-GTR AMG, made by Mercedes AMG, and a nice touch to the exhaust tips. Also, they have that racing style rear diffuser, which is a very nice touch, and actually following along what the real car is. Another thing on the front here, or on the roof, amazing roof scoop. When we open up the engine bay, you will see though that is where the air intake is for the engine. So let's check out these doors. Cool thing about these doors is they have the opening upward, kind of similar to a McLaren, and as they open, they open very easily, and then they kind of just lock in place, which is a very nice touch for this model. Easy to open. All you do is kind of just grab underneath the handle, flip it up, and then it locks in place. So also, unlike most Maisto models, they do have glass for the windows. Most Maisto base edition models do not come with windows. Those are the higher end model cars that have the windows, or such as like the Hot Wheels Elite versions that have the full windows or the half windows. Alright, so now we're going to open up the engine compartment. This is done pretty easily. Sometimes you might have to work it, but mostly it's easy. You just squeeze right here and then you rotate outwards, and this whole back piece comes off, as you will see. It does tightly fit and snap in place all along here, so you might have to work it a little bit right at the beginning. But you just squeeze and then it comes off. Looking at this engine bay, it is insane the amount of detail that they've included, especially for the age of this model. As you can see, it does have a great amount of depth way inside there, with all the headers and etc. that are coming off of the engine. We do have nice touch to the gold mufflers, as well as the springs, as well as the amount of carbon detail that's on this intake. So this is what I was talking about. The intake comes here and then goes into the engine intake right there, and with the Mercedes Benz labeling. So bravo to Maisto for putting that amount of detail. And I will say too, this is not a light deck lid, or should I say engine lid. It's solid metal. It's got some weight to it. Very, very impressed with the amount of detail. They even went ahead and did some carbon fiber details on the underneath. So very good job. So I will probably be displaying it similar to like this with the rear engine lid or deck lid off in order to display and showcase the amazing detail that they've provided in this engine bay. So last up here, just wanted to go through the interior and check out the amount of detail they provided. So let's get zoomed in here. Alright, so now that we're zoomed in, looking at the interior, they have a nice amount of detail there with the speedometer and the tachometer there on the dash. The steering wheel, though, could use a little bit more detail, but back in the day they didn't have much detail to put on steering wheels, and this is an older model, so that is to be kind of expected. So another thing, it does have that tartan interior, which is that kind of patterned texture there for the seats. So that was one of the hit kind of interiors that they were putting on these CLK GTRs back there in 1997 to 99. So kind of one other thing I wanted to touch was just a zoom in version of the engine bay here while we're kind of cropped in. Look at all of the piping and the headers that are coming from the engine. The amount of depth that they've included is just fantastic on this model. Certainly well done. And then let's see from the passenger side. Good amount of detail. Kind of on par with a Maisto diecast car. And then they do have the seat belts there, the seat racing harnesses. Those are plastic, but you know they have a nice look to them overall. You kind of get a good look at the back of the seats. So there we have it, everybody. The Mercedes Benz CLK-GTR made by Maisto Special Edition. So this one I was super excited to take a look at, super excited to add it to my collection, especially with this being a model that has a removable engine cover there. So I hope you enjoyed this boxing as much as I have. Again, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up and like button. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time.